welcome back to the Daily Dish. I'm Candace Cooper. I'm your host, your hostess, and I'm here to talk all things conspiracy, pop culture, beauty, astrology, fucking perimenopause. I'm here to talk about it all. And I re-listened, or I should say I watched the last two episodes that I did. I didn't like the sound quality. So until I can get my desk microphone set up, this is what we got. I went to Trader Joe's today and they have like a tangerine drink and pineapple. So I mixed it together. I had my midday cafe that I made at home as usual. And it was delicious. What a day. What a day. This is partially, I guess, going to be like a manifestation episode, because when I think about the last 4 years of my life and all of the work that I had done prior to getting to where I am now, and all of those days that I spent daydreaming about how I wanted my days to look, it's coming true. And this is wild. When I was a kid, I manifested being in all those commercials, but because I was a little kid and not in control of my environment, when I started to get really, really successful, I didn't have the support of my family behind me to then take me to the next level. So now that I'm an adult and I can feed myself healthy food, I can have myself on a healthy sleep schedule, I can go to the doctor, I can take care of myself in general, mind, body, soul, and feeling myself starting to get to the level that I want to be, and knowing that I manifested every single thing that's happening in my life right now, and I'm going to be able to capitalize on it this time. So that's really cool and really exciting. And I just want to say, daydreaming, is so important in shaping our future. And we all know that now because, we know so much about manifestation and visualization and all of that stuff. But years ago, you would just get in trouble for daydreaming in class. And I was like, excuse me, no, I am like living in my future in my head because I hate Catholic school. It was so fucking boring. It was not at all what I thought it was going to be, because we all know that I wanted to go to Catholic school. I wanted to be around God's people. Okay, we're back. Oh my goodness. Who is calling me right now? Leave me alone. Unless you're calling to tell me I won the lottery, leave me the fuck alone. Anyway, also to all of my entrepreneurial friends, we can't ask our friends and family for advice because they aren't going or haven't been where we're going. So I can't call and ask anyone that I know advice on the empire that I'm building because they have not ever built their own empire. So how would they even know what to say to me? So I have to learn it all on my own. And I was thinking about this the other day. There are mentors and mentees. And I think the people who eventually become mentors are the ones who had to learn it all on their own. And then they were able to pass on this hard-earned knowledge, because I've been looking for a mentor forever. I've reached out to hairstylists. I would love to have you as a mentor, just someone I could ask questions or as a sounding board. They all didn't even give me the time of day. And when they didn't give me the time of day, this was last year, I asked a pretty well-known hairstylist that I was like, this person for sure is gonna like help me out or point me in the right direction. They just didn't. And I had this revelation when that happened, and I said, that's because, Candace, you're meant to be a mentor. You're not meant to be a mentee. I've had business coaches. I've fucking had it all. And there's nothing more invaluable than being able to convey the lessons to someone because you've lived it. And there are certain situations in my life right now that are very overwhelming on paper. And I just know, because I've known myself for 40 years, I just know that I'll be able to get myself out of it. Because I look at my own past track record, and I get up every day with purpose and determination and consistency, and I fucking do it. There's nobody here saying, Candace, you got to get up and work out. But you know what? I do it. I do it. There's nobody saying, Candace, you got to keep your business open and afloat, and you got to think of all different ways to grow your business on your own. Nobody. I get up every day and I focus on those tasks at hand. Nobody tells me every day, Candace, you got to make your bed, you got to make sure your dishes. No, my house is if this is a representation of my mental, I'm in love, okay? Because my house is fucking such a sanctuary. Consistency. So to all of my fellow entrepreneurial friends, we have to get up every day and be our own driving force in our success. No one is going to read the financial articles for us. Nobody is going to find a good bookkeeper for us. We have to do it on our own. We have to put in the work. And what the fuck else are we doing here? Then we may as well do it for ourselves. The reason, anytime I think about giving up and just like being like whatever and go, because I did my taxes and I just think to myself, Candace, you are the person who scrubs the baseboards of the salon. You are the person who wipes down. I'm not an assistant. I don't need to do any of these things. But I think to myself, Candace, you are the one who wipes down the color carts so nobody gets color on their nice clothes. You are the one who wipes the water stains in the bathroom so it doesn't look sloppy in there. Candace, you are the one who loves to do marketing and advertising and videos and so I have to honor my destiny in this life to be a leader. I have a vision, okay? And even though there are times when I get beaten down and I'm exhausted and I'm fucking going through hormonal shit and finances are just like not adding up and you got to rob Peter to pay Paul. I just think to myself, you got to keep going, girl. You got to keep going, because what the fuck else is happening? Now, manifestation. So I got a new neighbor, maybe like 5 months ago, 4 months ago, not that long ago. And he was a psycho, okay? My other neighbor had to call the cops on him because he was screaming for over an hour at the top of his lungs, all kinds of crazy stuff. So my neighbor, I was just like laying in my bed. Like I said, I'm from New York, so we don't call the cops unless we really have to call the cops. So I didn't call them, but my neighbor did. And I just remember thinking to myself, I have to raise the vibration of our little courtyard so much that he moves out. Well, he fucking moved out. He's only been here for 4 months. He packed up all his shit the other day and moved the fuck out. And I was just like, whoa. I was like, holy shit, that is the power of intention and energy, because like we've all lived in this little courtyard for years now. We all know each other. We're all quiet. We're all very respectful and clean. And this guy just came in with his shitty ass energy and was loud and was annoying and was screaming nonstop. So the fact that I had that thought, like, how do I raise the vibration enough to where this guy fucking moves out? But in my head, I thought like he signed a year lease and he's only been here a few months. So I was like, oh, I have at least 10 months left with him on the lease. Nope, gone, moved out. How crazy is that? Okay, so let's talk pop culture. Can I also just say one other thing? On TikTok, I'm seeing all of these people absolutely shred hairstylists for our prices. I want to ask these people, like, what are you getting done? Because if you're getting a highlight, a single process, a blow dry, and a haircut, those are 4 different services that take 4 different types of tools, 4 different types of chemicals, and hours and hours and hours to apply. So how much do you like, maybe then just go get a haircut. Like, don't get highlights, a single process, a haircut. Like, no, just get, like, you bring us these pictures and I'm like, that's a highlight, that's a single process, that's a haircut. Or if it's like, that's a highlight, that's a low light, that's a haircut, that's styling, that, like, you're not asking us to do something that takes like 45 minutes. You're asking us to do stuff that takes 5 hours. Do you know how expensive hair color is? Do you know how expensive lightener is? Do you know how expensive shampoo is? Do you know how expensive the curling irons and the scissors and the blow dryers? Like, all of that stuff has to be replaced. A lot. It's fucking expensive. So that's like another thing. When I did my taxes and I went through like how much money I actually spend on keeping my business afloat and just keeping a fucking roof over my head, I went home and was so numb. Like, I'm so numb to the amount of money that I owe, because I just am like, I have to just put one foot in front of the other and make it happen. And the more I solve these problems on my own, the harder it's ever going to be for anyone to come in and fuck around with me. Because I'm like, I have seen the highest mountain, and I'm like a quarter of the way through. When I get to the top of that mountain and I look down at all those people who didn't help me or who were douchey to me, ooh, anyway, let's talk pop culture. Let's talk about Kristen Cavallari. Let's be honest, her love affair with Mark, the Montana boy. I just want to say to her, girl, stop talking about it. The way, okay. I think she's super excited about this kid. And I call him a kid because he's like 24 and she's 37, which, like, no shade. I get it. But I think she is like so flaunting him so hard right now because her ex-husband is like already engaged to some girl and was like posting, like, they did like a photo shoot or whatever. And Kristen has been single for a few years. Now, here's the thing. If you're smart, if you're independent, if you have been through some shit, like, you're not the type of woman who's just gonna roll over and just be with any man that comes along, because there is a certain level of naivete that it takes to get married, to have children, because you just don't know how hard it is until you know how hard it is. She is worth $30 million. That is so cool. She does not need a guy, and that makes the guy very insecure, whoever that guy is. In her episode today, this is very interesting. Her and Justin were talking about how, like, I have a very strong personality and I'm a businesswoman and I've overcome a lot and I've done a lot and I've seen a lot and I've accomplished a lot. So a lot of times I will date a guy and he will try to like trump me in some way, or like outshine me in some way. And it's like, dude, I'm the fucking shining star in this relationship. Do not think that you're going to take the spotlight from me. Also, you're a man, fall the fuck back. Like, that is like a bitchy way for a man to be, is like, look at me, look at me. It's no. Okay, cool, calm, collected. So she was saying, her and Justin were saying how a lot of the guys that she's like brought around or dated have tried to compete with her in the conversation, or one up her, or like make her like, she was saying how she was dating this guy and at the end of the night she was like, can you take my boots off? And he was like, what do you think this is, a power trip, like whatever. And then she also spoke about, this is very true and I know this so well, you don't want to upset these men because they could hurt you. So there have been so many situations where I just like, you have to be like, haha, okay, cool. And then be like, get the fuck away from me, get in your house, lock your door, lock your windows, and pray that he never comes near you ever again. So there is like this element of bitchy men who feel competitive towards women and who could possibly harm us. So when Kristen was talking about this guy who she was like, I wanted him to like take my boots off, and then he screamed at me like, what do you think this is, a power trip? And you're in a confined space with these men, safety first, ladies. So I think this is also another thing. I think that certain generations of men are completely different to women. Like the 1980s boys, just throw them away. I don't know what was in the vaccines at that time, but all the kids, all the boys from my generation treat women atrociously and are just atrocious in general. I don't know about the 50-year-olds. I went on a few dates with a 55-year-old and, you know, like I was like, this is more of the vibe that I need, but not with him. But apparently these 24-year-old kids, I don't know what generation they were raised by, but apparently they're chivalrous, they're nice, they're thoughtful, they're masculine. And this is another theory of mine. I don't ever want to date a man who is raised in a city, because they automatically are just way more whiny, way more whiny, way more wimpy. Like Kristen found a guy who was raised in Montana, so he is uh you know, getting cattle, herding cattle, he is on the tractor, he is getting up to do chores, he is getting down and dirty. Whereas these like city guys, their hands are way too soft. I don't want any guy who's too soft. I want a guy there. We think that toxic masculinity is men being like macho. Toxic masculinity is bitchy, wimpy men who feel in competition with women and then do little things to undermine us or hurt us, or they're violent towards us. Toxic masculinity comes to mind. The guy, why can't I think of his name, who killed his wife and 2 daughters. That is toxic masculinity. A healthy masculine man would say, hey, this isn't working out for me. I'm going to set you guys up in a nice little house, condo, apartment, whatever. We're going to get divorced. I'm still going to be a dad to these children. I'm still going to be a rock for you if you need me, but I do not feel like we are a good match anymore. That is a healthy masculine man. I'm still going to take care of you. I'm still going to make sure you're safe and okay. We're not working out, but you're still the mother of my children. A toxic masculine man is going to be a little whiny bitch and then hurt you or your children or your dog or your cat. That is a toxic masculine. So I think we're everything right now, Easter. Like when I saw what was going on with the White House and Easter and how they're trying to say like it's patriotic to be this way, or like just beware of what they're saying to you, that this is patriotic, this is American, that no. What they say, do the fucking opposite. So when they say toxic masculinity, they don't want there to be any more masculine men in the world, because masculine men will not leave women and children out and vulnerable in the world. And I see it all the time. I see it when there is just a mother, a single parent home, and there's a boy in that home. That boy grows up not how he's supposed to. They usually hate women. What are they, like incels? They become like an incel because there's no man to teach him how to play football. There's no man to like take him out and teach him how to open the door for a woman. There's no man to be an example. And that is what this administration wants. They want single family homes. They want children raised with no father figure, because then they don't know how to treat women. And women, we are forever vulnerable to the entire population. It's crazy. Back to Kristen Cavallari. I am so happy that she found a great guy. And, you know, if he's 24, whatever. He clearly was raised right. What I do want to say to her, though, is like, shh, don't talk about it. Because she said in her episode today how he wants to have kids and how she, you know, might reconsider her stance on not having any more children. And I'm just like, girl, don't jinx it. Just keep it to yourself. This is so good. It's so good. Anyway, I love you all. I have to watch Vanderpump Villa. I'm going to do that tonight. I still got like an hour or two left of doing work and all of that stuff to go. One other little tip that I will say, if you are an entrepreneur and you have to, let's say you're not as busy as you want to be, get up every day at like 5:36 and make sure that you are working from 9 to 5. No matter what, if I have clients or not, I wake up every day and I work from 9 to 5:30. And then I'm able to go for my walk at the end of the night, to have dinner, to, you know, do social stuff with Iggy or go out to dinner with a friend, whatever. But as an entrepreneur, there is nobody getting you up every day and keeping you on task and keeping you on schedule. So you have to do it for yourself. If you have a hard time sitting still, implement the Pomodoro method. You set the timer for 15 minutes. You work nonstop for 15 minutes. You set the timer for 15 minutes and you go and you rest for 15 minutes. So that's the Pomodoro method. And it's literally like the Pomodoro, like tomato timer. I think that's where like it came from. So I've used that a lot in keeping me on track. And so that's my entrepreneurial tidbit for you today, is to get up every day. And even if you're not working at your studio or your office or whatever, you're working from 9 a.m. to 5:30 p.m. And great things will happen, I promise. So I love you all. Thank you for tuning in to another episode of The Daily Dish. I hope you have a great day, And let me know in the comments below. Like, comment, share, subscribe. Are these episodes helping you? What other topics should we chat about? I'll let you know about Vanderpump Villa. And I love you, and I'll see you tomorrow. Bye, guys.